It's time for episode number 288 with my friend Brittany Tavinsky. Let's talk about your business, strategy, and the juicy details of what actually works, from mainstream fashion to fashion on Main Street, and the entire ecosystem behind it. How do we scale your company and do it with the balance and the happiness that we all seek? Let's hear from those insiders, experts, and strategists that actually make it happen. I'm your host, Ashley Alderson from the Boutique Hub, and I can't wait to chat. Sometimes social media can feel so overwhelming, right? You just feel like you got the hang of Facebook groups and then Instagram, and you've got your email list and your text list, and you've built a mobile app, and you're like, my gosh, how many different ways can I communicate with my customers? And just then a new platform comes along, and either you're in one of two camps. You're excited to try this brand new platform, or you're feeling like, oh crap, I've got yet another thing to keep up with. Well, today we want to uncover some truths about the platform TikTok, because one thing's for sure, 2020 will always be remembered for, yes, the very first stay-at-home orders in quarantine. But second, what did you do during quarantine? And that was you made random, crazy TikToks with your grandma. So how has TikTok evolved throughout 2020? Well, today I'm sitting down with Brittany Tavinsky, who is a boutique owner and a social media consultant. And we're going to talk about what TikTok really means and how to use it for your business today. Because as 2020 evolved, really, TikTok did take on a life of its own and has supported many, many small businesses and helped them to grow their audience. And if you've been a part of the Hub for any period of time, you've probably heard me say this. It's that money follows eyeballs. It's not about having yet another platform where we're constantly pushing product and asking for sales, but instead it's about building your brand. It's about building relationships with customers. It's about reaching eyeballs who therefore are going to follow you and hopefully buy your products. So I hope today's conversation answers some of your TikTok questions. But as always, make sure you jump inside of the Hub. Brittany is inside of the Hub and can answer some of your TikTok questions. And there's tons more resources inside as well. But I think this is an app that we are just getting started with. Get ready to learn more about TikTok with my friend Brittany Tavinsky. All right, calling all of you social media buffs. Today is your day. I can't wait to talk about TikTok, because I know that you have 1,000 questions swirling around in your head right now. So the best person to join me for this conversation is Brittany Tavinsky, and she is the owner of 80 Square Foot Boutique, a member of the Hub, who has absolutely exploded on TikTok, and I cannot wait to talk all about it. Brittany, how's it going?
It is going so good, all things considered. Oh, goodness.
Right?
Yeah.
Quarantine for you looks a little different than most, and that is because your business is a little bit different than most. Talk to me about your living situation at the moment.
Yeah. So my husband and I, about a year ago, decided to live in an RV full time and travel the United States. So our living arrangements as far as traveling, every 2 to 3 weeks, we pick up and move to a different city in the United States. So currently, just because of everything that's going on, we're going to be staying put for a little bit, but typically we're out exploring a new city every 2 weeks.
I think that is the coolest thing. So how many cities and states have you been to so far?
Oh, wow. I do not know off the top of my head, but a good bit. What we do typically is we live in a state and then jump around to major cities. So one of our first main stays was Colorado. We were at Denver, Colorado Springs. Then we went to California for a good bit. We were in Vegas, Arizona, saw the Grand Canyon multiple times, which was really cool. Then most recently, we were in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And yeah, now we're back in Pennsylvania, which is my home state. Yes. So it's kind of funny. We've been to probably 40 states together total, but we only count the ones that we spend at least 2 nights at. So we've driven across the country probably, I don't even know now, 5 times. So we have gone back and forth quite a bit.
All right. So I'm sure everyone's wondering, what are the logistics? How do you run a boutique out of a trailer? Talk to me about that. Is your inventory in the trailer? How do you ship?
Yes.
How did all of this logistically work out for you?
So, excellent question, because we had to figure that out pretty hardcore. So, the name of our boutique is 80 Square Feet Boutique, and that is because we started our boutique literally out of an 8 by 10 room. So, literally out of 80 square feet in the back of our RV. So, we renovated the RV so the boutique space looks cute and boutique-y, and the whole house is like really adorable. Uh, but with a lot of Tetris like skills. So when we started our boutique, it was a little challenging to find just the right balance for like how inventory management was a little tricky for sure. So, like how quick products come in. We liked to stock up on product at least a month out, because if there was a delay in shipping or anything like that, it just was a lot easier to just kind of bulk things together versus every week getting new product in. So if you're stationary, you can have packages kind of just rolling in whenever. For us, because of our moving schedule, we had to be a lot more strategic in our ordering. And then what we did is we had stackable bins, a really great bin system that my husband helped organize. And that worked really, really well for us until about 3 months ago, when we legitimately just completely ran out of space. So, a lot of people who are listening, basically, if you get more product in, you're looking to scale your business, you need to have product to have the amount of numbers that you're looking to make. So what was going on is we just were running out of space and we couldn't get enough new product in. So recently we actually switched to a drop ship model, which is so beautiful for us in our situation, because we don't have to have as much inventory on hand, and then someone else is doing shipping on our behalf. So it's a lot cleaner for us.
That's perfect. Did you find that you just needed to start looking for wholesalers that would drop ship, or did you outsource it to like a third party altogether where you were shipping all of your inventory to that company and then they were taking over all the shipping for you?
Yeah, great question. So we looked into literally every possibility. We were originally going to go that route, but it's if you pay for it as a through like a warehouse or that kind of model, that gets rather pricey really quick. So we were going to outsource it independently. Long story short, we found a like third party drop shipper. So they upfront the wholesale cost. And the great part of it is that it's a boutique specific drop shipper. So all the brands we were already purchasing, using, they were also purchasing and using. So it was a really great fit, really great timing fit. They launched, I think it was like 3 months ago, and that was the same time we were looking for a solution to our problem. So it's just a really great timing and a really great fit.
That's awesome. How did you decide that you were going to get into a boutique in the first place?
Great question. So for the past, for like 3 years, for the past 3 years or so, I was a part of a direct sales clothing company, and we navigated from that. That kind of fizzled out for us personally, and it didn't really work with the shipping model. So we decided to open up our own boutique. And a huge part of it was, one, the community. We look at our customers not just as customers, but they're now our friends. We have women that we've never met. They're like, "You're like my children I never had," or "You're like my third set of grandkids." It's really cool. Or "You're like the third sister." So it's really awesome to have that kind of community. And we really wanted to keep on providing amazing products for them. And we decided to open up our own boutique.
That's perfect. Perfect way to transition. I think there's been a lot of boutiques that have been in that situation where they previously were with, some kind of direct sales company and they decided now to move to owning their own business, which obviously provides all kinds of freedoms and flexibilities and to create the brand that you want it to be going forward.
For sure. I absolutely
So
love it.
perfect. So along the way, I'm sure did all the typical marketing, Facebook, Instagram, all the channels, right? But somehow along the way, you landed on TikTok. Talk to me about how you first got to playing with TikTok and how you knew that was going to be such a good fit for you.
Yeah, for sure. So, couple things. I heard about it from a teenager. a very sassy 16-year-old. And she was going on and on about just showing me examples and, oh, there's this new thing called TikTok, and I've heard of it before. And I kind of thought of it just like a lot of the listeners today are, okay, it's up and coming, but it's for a super young audience, or it's just lip syncing or just dancing. When I started signing up and like diving more deep into it, I was like, okay, this is totally something I could get involved with. I saw the super early potential of it and just the growth and the possibilities that can happen. For me personally, I love Instagram stories and I love going live and like the video content aspect of things. So that was a really great fit for my personality. I don't like learning new dances, but I'm like, hey, I got a lot of other things that we can share with our potential viewers and content that we can provide for them. So I started diving in about 3 months ago, though, is when I got really serious about it as far as using it for my business and using it as a marketing tool versus just a consumer on the platform. So I feel a lot of people go on and they're like, okay, what is this? They're curious and they get, I call it, sucked into the TikTok rabbit hole. Do you have a TikTok by any chance yet?
I do.
Okay.
So we have a boutique. Yeah, we have a boutique at one, and I have a personal one.
Okay.
Honestly, I haven't used my personal one other than to like watch TikToks.
Yeah. Yep.
But we have some on the Hubs TikTok that our team's been making.
Okay, wonderful. So then you might be familiar with, I call it the TikTok rabbit hole, where you're like in it for like 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, what happened to 40 minutes of my day? I've been in the TikTok rabbit hole. So I went from consuming the content to then producing my own content and trying to kind of experiment with it, trial and error of what worked well for boutiques specifically and small businesses. So when I did that, that was about 3 months ago. Like I said, I started with 98 followers. And then today, if you go ahead and check us out, our handle is That Millennial Couple. We're now at 80,000 followers, which has been insane. Awesome. Yeah.
So awesome. So first thing, I'm going to ask this question because I know anyone who's not familiar with TikTok, who doesn't have an account or know what it's all about. Also, my daughter has an account, and legit today at lunch, she came to me and she was like, Mom, this is what I'm making for lunch today. And I'm like, where'd you get that recipe? She's like, I got it on TikTok. Because she follows all of these like food accounts on TikTok.
Yes. So good.
So if you're not familiar with it, you're probably wondering, do I have to lip sync and dance in order to be on TikTok?
Yeah, absolutely not. And I'm living proof, because if you had to take the time to learn all the dances, I mean, I'm definitely, girl, if you're good at dancing, like dance your heart out. If that's your thing, please do your thing. But for me, taking the time to learn all the dances is not necessarily my thing. So I actually grew from the 98 to 60,000 followers without doing any dancing at all. And then I've learned probably 2 dances so far, and they've been insanely simple. And I just kind of have been using them to promote my boutique in a like more fun way. So definitely not a place that you just have to lip sync or dance. There is the cooking, like your daughter mentioned. So there's cooking. There are rants. There are just funny things. There is a video. This is one of my favorite examples. There are 2 dogs. This woman decided to quickly take a video of her dog at a dog park, and they're wrestling in the mud. And that got, it's probably more than this at this point, 4 million views. So literally, like, it can be pretty much anything, honestly.
So what would be your advice for someone, like, where do you even start if you're brand new?
Great question. So I really believe, one, just get your handle on TikTok. So my biggest thing, if you're listening today, you don't have a TikTok account, you're not sure how you feel about it, just go ahead and save your handle, because at this point today, when you're listening to it, this podcast, there will be the least amount of people signed up because it's a very popular app, and every single day, more and more people are signing up. So sign up. The next step would be to just do your research. When you're going through the rabbit hole, start favoriting things that really stick out to you or that you enjoy looking at, seeing in your feed. Because if those are the type of things that you're enjoying and content you love, you can start thinking for your business, okay, how can I take this and make it more me, more on brand? So I would start there. And then I'm all about just doing the thing. So I tell a lot of the women that I work with that you never know what's on the other side of posting that one video. So I know it can be a little scary and you might be unsure, but the best way to get used to it is just by practicing, posting, and just doing the thing.
I think it's kind of a mindset shift, isn't it? Of we're also used to this Instagram filtered world. Like first was Facebook. Well, really first was MySpace, and then Facebook, and then Instagram came along and everything was perfect. And then came along stories and Snapchat, and people started to like lift this veil and become so much more authentic. I feel like TikTok is that on steroids. Like it's that on the next level of just you being totally raw in who you are and not being scared to show up goofy or silly. And it may not be at all related to the clothes that you sell, some of your videos, but it's more about the brand.
100%.
Would you agree?
Yeah, totally. So if you go to Instagram, even my Instagram or Instagrams in general, typically they're a little bit more polished. I focus very on my hashtags, what I'm writing, consistent emojis, my filters that I'm using, all the things, right? On TikTok, I think people are honestly, they're kind of sick of, like, they want to connect with other real people. And TikTok is the place for, if you think you're a little bit, I don't know, people are like, if I'm a weirdo, can I be on TikTok? And I'm like, oh, girlfriend, like TikTok was made for weirdos. Like, if you're perfect, we don't want you, in the best loving way possible. But yeah, exactly. It's for being authentic, showing up as yourself. And on this platform, I like posting behind the scenes how-tos, not direct salesy things, so to speak, like the swipe up, shop now, it's 20% off, on Instagram stories, or, oh, free shipping today only. No, 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 no. We're going to teach, we're going to be teachers, educators, we're going to show behind the scenes, and we want people to fall in love with us, our personality, our brand, like you said. Go on there looking to become BFFs with your future client. Like, what would she love? Post that. Do that thing. And you don't need makeup. I mean, this is actually kind of funny looking back. There's nothing I can do to change it, and it is what it is. But one of my first viral videos was a Mia rant with a messy bun, no makeup, in my pajamas. Ashley, a pajama set from my parents for Christmas, like pajamas. Would have I done that on Instagram? Absolutely not. Most likely, no. So yeah, it's definitely more of an authentic platform, less salesy, more authentic. Like I said, behind the scenes, trying on outfits, educational. It's a lot more of a creative outlet too, I feel. So.
Definitely. How about okay, so you're going on there, you find a couple accounts to follow. Talk about hashtags specifically on TikTok, because I feel like there is such an underworld to help you connect with the right type of people beyond just the content you're posting.
Yes. So hashtags are a little different than their use from other platforms such as Instagram. So hashtags, just a couple rules of thumb. I recommend using more niche hashtags for a variety of reasons. And by niche, typically under 5 million for the use would be great. If it's a little less than that, even better, to be honest. So between 1 million and 5 million, and you can see when you search hashtags how often they're used within the platform. So the more niche, the better, because that basically is telling TikTok where to guide your content and who to guide it to. So a lot of people, they hop on and they see the hashtag FYP, which means for you page. And they're like, great, if I want to go viral, I'm going to post hashtag FYP, right? Well, that's one of the most popular hashtags currently on TikTok because everyone is trying to get on that FYP page. And if everyone is trying to get on that page and you're telling TikTok, hey, TikTok, I want to reach everyone, that probably isn't going to work as well as, okay, TikTok, I want to reach the over 30 club. So there's a hashtag I love to use, hashtag over 30 club. So that could be more specific to your demographic. Or I know there's a lot of Southern boutiques within Boutique Hub. So like hashtag Southern girl or Southern, something about the South. So a lot more specific to the people you want to reach. So you're telling TikTok, hey, TikTok, show my content to these type of people. And then what TikTok does really awesome is the For You page is a curation of content that they think that you would like based on the hashtags that you spend the most time on or the content that you spend the most time on, like as far as like you watch the whole video, things like that. So they do a really great job of putting your content in front of the type of people that you're looking for.
So best practice when you target everyone, you reach no one, right? Marketing
Pretty
101.
much, yes.
Yeah. And then just to get in there and find those hashtags, follow those hashtags, consume a bunch of content so you know where you want to line up, and then just start testing. Just like anything, I feel like it all goes back to data, right? That you just have to put the content out there. I love your quote that you never know what's on the other side of that video. I think that's so smart what you said. And that's where you go next. You take one foot, dip it in the water, and then you take your next step forward after that.
Yeah, for sure. So another thing I would do if you're just starting out and more in the boutique industry, this can be used for any industry. So just take the information, apply it to your industry. But for boutiques, look up boutique accounts. See what's doing well for them, seeing what hashtags they're using, and do not do not create an exact replica because that's not right, but make it your own, put a new twist on it. That's a really great way to find inspiration as well for hashtags and content use.
Okay, so as a self-proclaimed, I'm still very new to TikTok. Talk to me about how you choose your content because there's music and there's voiceovers and you could just like do a rant where you're talking to the camera. Like what are the options that are out there and how do you decide what you're going to create?
Yeah, so great question. A great place to find inspiration is honestly in the For You page. So a lot of trending stuff is where you want to really like hone in on and then just spin it and make it your own and make it more on brand for you. So when you open up TikTok, if you go to the Discover like search bar at the bottom, you can see what's currently trending, hashtags that are trending, music that's trending, things like that. That's a really great place to start. As far as genres of content, there is everything from dance, like I said, rants, cooking, behind the scenes, how to videos. There is literally everything under the sun. Rants are really funny. So mirror rants are like this really niche genre on TikTok right now, and they do really well. There's a girl I follow, and all she does is rant about relationships and like just funny life stuff in the mirror. And she has probably 300,000 followers at this point. It's just the sky's the limit. Basically, it's your personality. So post about different things you're into that you love and the way that you want to do it. And that's the best way. I have another friend, just as like a fun example. She's currently training for her first marathon. Her videos are, she's hilarious, by the way. So comedy would definitely be in there. But her videos are literally her just running. And she describes her run and shows her outfit. And it's literally just her running. And she also has over 300,000 followers as well, just from running.
That is so niche.
Yes, but people love it. And
So
it's so her. So, and really funny thing, she actually lives within 15 minutes of my like hometown where we are at right now. So when
no
we made
way.
that
That is so
connection, I was
cool.
like, this is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
So
So would you recommend, like, on that note, should boutique owners have both a personal and a business TikTok, or would you recommend wrapping it into one?
I would just wrap it into one. You're a whole person. So people love to see the whole kit and caboodle. There's a boutique owner that I'm working with currently, and she gets her kids involved. She loves to cook. So she'll do cooking, but she'll also show her boutique as well. And she just shows herself as a whole person. She likes car rants too. So I think all in one, I recommend don't post anything that you wouldn't show to like a ton of people because you're not exactly sure what will go viral. So just be aware, like be yourself, but also be aware, like, hey, this could really, really take off too. So,
Mm. That's a really good tip. So if you don't like talking about politics elsewhere, perhaps TikTok is not your place.
yes, maybe it would be wise to just refrain. Exactly. I had a girl also that I was working with who owns a boutique. She made this adorable video with her son, and she didn't have a ton of followers. So you would think, like, oh, it's okay. Like, it'll stay within her circle, right?
Mhm.
Well, she shared it to her Facebook stories. A like a friend of a friend who's like a part of a news agency found her video and wanted to use it. I think it was on NBC. And so, just for a great example, I mean, it was a great video and it was super wholesome. But yes, for sure, as an example, you just never know.
Very good point. All right, so let's talk about, like, specifically the conversions of marketing. So if I'm a boutique owner and I have limited time and I'm like, "Ugh, I don't want to create one more thing, right? I don't want one more thing on my plate. I'm going to put my time into something that I know is going to like drive sales or conversions or traffic or eyeballs or something." Talk to me about, as a boutique owner, how do I track that I'm actually getting the traffic that I need to justify my time on TikTok?
I love that question. Great question. So, I would encourage people that you have like it's a two-part goal going on to TikTok. One of the main things, the main goals for me and the people I work with is I'm like, okay, girl, we're going to increase our following because right now, TikTok, like I said before, it's not that salesy place, but we want to convert still. So we're going to be a little bit more stealth than Instagram or Facebook per se. So, a couple things, you can have a TikTok code. So I currently have a TikTok code. It was in my bio. Now I have a clickable link in my bio, which they're slowly rolling out, by the way, which is incredible. So when people find your mom rant video and they're like, oh my gosh, I can totally identify with her, and my kids are driving me nuts right now during quarantine, and she owns a boutique, get out of here. They'll click on your link, okay? So there's a
Mhm.
couple things. You can have a TikTok code, a discount code. So that's one way of tracking conversions. And you can see comments. So many people ask questions. Oh my gosh, where do you get that top? I love your top. Can you just give me the link for your top? They know you're a boutique owner. So they'll be asking you, and you can see those conversions as well. Like, oh, Betty just asked about a 2XL top, and then she checked out with a 2XL top. So that happens a good bit. And then overall, if you have Google Analytics, you can track it better. But overall, you'll see your Shopify, if you have a Shopify especially, your traffic go up. I have a girl and she's like, uh, my my views, she shut off Google ads, and her, since starting TikTok, her Shopify views has tremendously increased without no longer using Google ads. So that's a pretty obvious way. Also, you'll like post a video and then you can see an influx. There's a lot of times a correlation. So just as an example, I posted a black V-neck top and like a camo lounge set. I posted that, and then I had from that, between people who used the codes and then mentioned they wanted to check out, I had $350 in sales from just one post. And it's not just me, other people that I work with are also seeing similar conversions. But the main thing for TikTok for me personally is growing my audience, because once they become a platform that you can sell more on, your like possibilities will be unlimited. So yes, there are conversions. It might not be as much as Instagram, but as you grow, like sales will go up. It's a really interesting thing for sure.
Could you also use it as like, I'm big on repurposing content.
Mhm.
And, you know, for us, like I'm all about the content sanity method. I've got like my content I've planned out at the beginning of the week. How can you repurpose and reuse all the videos you post on TikTok?
Oh, great question. So, a great way would be to use it in your Instagram stories. TikTok is incredible in the fact that it links to so many different platforms very easily. So you can like use it for Facebook Messenger, for Facebook, set it up with your Facebook business page, Instagram, like all the things, Twitter. So you can reshare your videos out to those different platforms. That would be a really quick and easy way to do repurposing. But to be honest, when I do style videos or how to's, I'm actually downloading the video. There is a website. I can potentially get you the link for it, but you can actually upload a TikTok video and remove the watermark that says like the TikTok. And I'm actually uploading that content into YouTube. So it's
Oh,
like a
perfect.
both and. Yeah. And they're just short little YouTube clips that are a lot easier to digest for people and walk through. So, like how to style high waist skinny jeans, or how to, I don't know, style your favorite black t shirt in a less than 60-second consumable way is really great.
Hey guys, you know how much I love talking about knowing your numbers and the importance of great data and inventory management. And so when it comes to point of sale solutions, this is a huge topic here on the podcast and inside of the Boutica, because your numbers matter. So this week, I'm really excited to let you know that this week's podcast was brought to you by a vetted partner of the Boutique Hub who we've seen in action and we know works. And that's our friends at Springboard. Springboard Retail is now officially known as Heartland Retail. So new name, same great product. And Heartland Retail is more than just a point of sale, but it's actually a full retail management platform with a cloud-based point of sale and robust back office tools, meaning it will integrate with the e-commerce solutions and many other things you're working with right now. It includes real-time inventory management, best-in-class custom reporting. Seriously, the reports are endless, you guys. Plus purchase orders and receiving tools on the platform, physical counts, advanced coupons, and promotions that you can actually report on too, plus customer dashboards that allow you to collect any type of customer information you can dream of. And best of all, I think this is so cool. Heartland Retail was built by retailers for retailers. So the founders and the developers understand your pain points because they've had those same pain points themselves. When I think of words that members use to describe Heartland Retail, I hear easy to use, intuitive, flexible, customizable, powerful, and great reporting. So if you would love more information or to schedule a quick demo and a personalized one-on-one with one of their retail experts, visit heartlandretail.us/boutique hub and thank them for being a partner of the Hub and sharing an awesome vetted platform with perks to all of our members.
Oh, that's so smart and such a good way. I feel like there's so many boutique owners that aren't maximizing YouTube on top of it, which that's a whole nother conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But as a search platform, man, that makes so much sense just to create the content and then use it as many ways as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Save yourself some time and headache and get some new traffic.
Well, the thing about YouTube, like totally not dissing YouTube at all, but one of my things that I was hesitant stepping into YouTube is all the editing. And what's really awesome, because it's time consuming. So what's really awesome about TikTok is it's a all-in-one app where you can edit, have a cute overlay, add text, and it's not hours of editing like YouTube might be. So that's probably one of my favorites as far as sharing TikTok to YouTube. that it's already edited, it's good to go.
That makes sense. All right. Is there any like tip or strategy that you would mention about TikTok that I didn't already ask about? Again, because I'm admittedly new to the platform. So teach me your ways,
Oh my
Yoda.
gosh, I love it. Yeah, so a couple things. Some of my top 3 strategies is one, get on and be intentional and go ahead and use it for business. And I know that sounds like such a silly strategy, but just being intentional with it, especially right now, because the organic growth is crazy high, crazy ridiculous. One really awesome part of the TikTok algorithm is you have an equal chance of being viral compared to people that have 2 million followers versus 5 followers, which means for you, so you're just hopping on TikTok, you make a video, you have an equal weight in the algorithm versus other algorithms. The more followers you have, let's say, the more likes you get, the higher you are on other people's pages, etc. It's
Mm-hmm.
completely different than that. So you just, like I said, you never know what's on the other side of the video. Another tip is using trending music or audio. So really take advantage of things that are trending, because TikTok actually favors videos that have very popular audio or super popular music in them. So that's probably my second tip. And then lastly, just to post consistently. So it's completely different than Instagram or Facebook in the fact that you can post up to 10 times a day on TikTok without it necessarily affecting your organic reach. Versus when I'm on Facebook and I'm trying to navigate through Facebook, post to Facebook, I am super intentional about not posting too little or too much to not get thrown in Facebook jail and all that kind of fun stuff. Same with Instagram, like you don't want to be flagged as spam. For TikTok, you can post up to 10 times a day without it affecting your reach, which is really awesome. Do I recommend 10 times a day? No, you got other things to do during your day. I totally understand. What I recommend starting with is about 1 time a day. And what I love to do is batch making content to save time, because coming up with new content every single day is exhausting. So, what I like to do is take about 45 minutes of my week, which is definitely doable. Take 45 minutes, make the content for the week, and then save it into my drafts and then post it throughout the week. It's a lot more doable, especially for entrepreneurs.
Oh, so true. Batch create your content.
Yeah. So, just as an example, there was a boutique owner who she just like dove right in. She took the 10 times a day pretty literally, and she just dove right in. Uh, within 2 weeks, she was posting like 5 to 6 times a day. And within 2 weeks, she got over 7,000 followers just because she was consistently posting. The more you post, the more options TikTok has for videos to pull from, to go to the For You page, to go viral, to in turn get more followers.
All right, one more question that I know has been circulating, especially on social media, is just about the safety of TikTok. I mean, there's been some news stories just about data collection, which, I mean, there's data collection news stories on most social media platforms, but I'm curious your thoughts on that and if you've looked into it and kind of how you would um, suggest that we all proceed with using TikTok.
Yeah, for sure. So it is an overseas based company. So that is definitely for sure. But in my opinion, when we go on to any social platform, so Instagram, Facebook, where a majority of us already are, we are currently like getting a lot of data already collected. So just being safe with it, just being intentional, not oversharing. And it's just, you just follow typical safety procedures like you would on Instagram or Facebook. So, not sharing your location per se. Don't share too much personal information. Just the kind of same safety protocols that I already use for myself for Instagram and Facebook, I apply to TikTok as well.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And again, and not to put you on the spot, but I know that's a question that a lot of people are asking. So it's helpful. Everyone has to make the best decision for themselves and their business anytime they run a Google search or share information on social media.
For
So
sure.
I know you mentioned that boutiques can work with you on their TikTok accounts. Do you want to mention that specifically, how your course and how to collaborate with you?
Yeah, for sure. So, because of just learning so much about TikTok over the past 3 months, growing my account, and how much it's been a tremendous blessing for my husband and I and our business and our following, all the things, I am so passionate about helping other women and working with them do the same kind of thing. So, growing their account. And I made a course that is literally everything you need. All you need is to sign up for TikTok, and then I take it from there, from editing to working throughout the algorithm, how I step by step create content. And then the last part of the course is how to convert. And I really focus on my sales funnel that I currently use for the boutique and how to convert followers into customers.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that'll all be linked up in the show notes. So if you guys are interested in working with Brittany, her information is definitely there. Brittany, I've got a couple more quick questions for you, kind of lightning round, because
Yeah.
we all have to not only focus on the sales funnels and the strategy and the inventory and the things to run our business, but I feel like it's more important that we take care of ourselves and we keep our cup filled so that we can continue to fill others through this process as well. So, lightning round. Talk to me about your go-to favorite mentor, book, and podcast where you go to get inspiration for your business.
Yeah, great question. So I love Gary Vee so much. So I
Yes.
actually have his text message. I love his podcast and I follow him on social media. I love that he's self made and I love his positive message. So it really resonates me. So that's probably one of my favorites. And I also love Jenna Kutcher. She's just super sincere and I love learning from her as well.
How about your favorite book?
So it's called You Are a Badass. And then there is a sequel called You're a Badass at Making Money. Literally life changing for me. It's probably my favorite book of all time that I've read so far. And it was super inspiring and really hit home.
It was so funny too. Jen Sincero, she is hilarious. And do you have the button? Do you have like the desk button that goes with the book by any chance?
No, I do not have the button.
A friend of mine sent it to me, and so every time you push the button, it goes, "You are a badass," and then it has these other quotes too. My kids got a hold of it one day,
Oh my gosh.
and they were like, "Mom, look at me," and then they would push it, and then they would giggle. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like you don't need to learn profanity at such a young age." Although I can't say I'm the best example to always follow, but
Oh my
side
gosh.
note, you need it on your desk.
Oh my
You need it in
gosh.
the trailer.
I'm now going to be Amazon carting that as soon as we're done.
All right, Brittany, let's talk about the future. So, I mean, I know you and your husband travel and you've got all these amazing things. I have no idea what your plans are on having children, if that's a thing in your future, but let's just pretend like 30 years down the road, you've got grown small people in your life and you're sitting on a front porch somewhere with these family members and you're talking about the life that you lived and the business that you created and all the cool things that you saw in all of your travels. And looking back, what would you want that story to be that you're telling? What's the thing that you want people to remember the most about what you created and how you help people in your life?
I love that question. So, this is going to sound a little morbid, and you might have heard it from other people, but about 3 years ago, I started being really intentional about living my life with my funeral in mind. I'm going to back up because I'm only 29, but I want to live differently with a crap ton of intention behind it so that when people are attending my funeral, one, I want a packed out funeral. But two, the main thing I want people to say about me is that she truly loved others and made the biggest difference in this world in the shortest amount of time. So my eyes are on helping others, building other women up, and Yeah, I'm really excited for my future, honestly. A lot of people are scared about aging, but I'm really, really excited about it.
Like a fine wine, we get better with age, right?
Oh, yeah. I have a lot of really big plans, so I'm really excited about it.
I love it. I love that you're so intentional and you do truly begin with the end in mind. And really that's what it's all about. It's living our life intentionally every day and not letting someone else decide, or not just going with the flow or doing the thing that we think we're supposed to be doing based on the social approval of others, but really what lights our fire from the inside out.
Yeah, for sure. Just on a more personal note, my husband and I together did about 5 years of counseling, both separately and then marriage counseling as well. And one of my greatest takeaways from that was quite literally living my best life and what that means for me. And you're dead on, not living with social pressures, or I'm 29, I'm going to be 30 this year. And I'm not necessarily stressing about kids and starting the family. And we're taking time for ourselves to travel and build our businesses. So, yeah, live your best life. Do not live for other people. It'll always lead to disappointment. And yeah, be happy.
Oh, that's so good. So true. I appreciate it so much. Brittany, you've been such a light today. Thank you for the opportunity to come to the show and to talk about TikTok and your contributions inside of the hub. I know you've been an awesome active member. It was so good. We had a chance to meet in person in Vegas at Market. So I look forward to working with you so much more and seeing all the awesome things you have yet to come. But thanks again for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. It was awesome.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. We hope that you loved it. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a rating and review down below for a chance to be one of our featured listeners each and every week. For more information on our spirit of community over competition and how to access complete show notes and bonus downloads from our guests, head on over to theboutiquehub.com and join the community. We'll see you next week.